mentioned there? Was there still included in that?
Yeah, so on the construction side, the persons with disabilities can be mental disabilities or physical disabilities. Recognizing we're on a transmission line construction project, the ability to hire people with physical disabilities was somewhat limited. So on the self-identification, we wouldn't know if it was mental or physical disabilities. So we did have success in that area, but not a huge success on physical disabilities. It just didn't fit with the type of work we were doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Is there a moment that you're most proud of personally?
Yeah, I think for me, when I look at the diversity piece, we did this video, which, we came out and we said all the contractors are doing a lot of the work and we need to recognize them. So we actually created an awards ceremony where we gave them awards saying, you did a fantastic job and you should be recognized. And they were really proud of that. But one of the things we thought of was, wouldn't it be great if we did a video and we just asked the workers what they thought of the project? And I have to tell you, I was very nervous about that. We didn't know what the video was going to say, and we didn't script it. We sent out the communications person and said, just ask people and see if we can come up with something quickly. And when the video came back, we were like, wow, that's success.
What were you hearing in that video? What was it that made you
I get emotional when I talk about the video. Hated that video. Just a lot of people saying, give me a second.
Sure, yeah.
Thanks. Oh, my makeup's good.
Oh, don't worry. I can watch that.
Okay, so the diversity video, I think, was probably the proudest moment, to see people actually saying on their own that they, thought the project was safe, it was a good place to work, and that we, really changed their lives. And not just the workers, but the contractors themselves said that it changed their companies, that suddenly having a diverse workforce, they saw a big change in the productivity and the respect for workplace on their work sites.
So that's interesting. And these contractors will go on now in the future. So what does that mean?
It's fantastic.
Kind of changed something?
Yeah, it's really changed the landscape. We've had a number of them say to us that, this is their way forward now. They see the value. And it was interesting to see them talk to us individually about how it changed. They said that the behavior on site was very different. The productivity levels were better. People were truly respectful, and in cases where they weren't, it was dealt with very quickly. And so for us, it's huge. You leave a legacy behind for some companies and for people who never normally would get those opportunities. And a lot of them really were, really thankful. They would send us letters. They would talk about how it changed their lives. We did a training program with an Aboriginal group in Western Newfoundland in St. George's. And of that 16, 15 went on to work on projects and earn really good money. And they were all people who had been disadvantaged before they got into that program. And we trained them and made them, ready for work on projects. And actually 13 went to work, 2 went back to school. So we were incredibly proud of that one as well, to see that success.
I can't help but think, and in your own words, that this cable is about bringing power. It's also bringing empowerment.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Can you explain a connection to that? Because it brings a power to the future, but it's also bringing empowerment.
Yeah, I think,
metaphor, right?
yeah, and it is. I think for, the first time I heard when we talked about the diversity and how it impacted, it was even the people on our own team who said that it had changed the way they think. So professional people who came off this project and now are saying, like, wow, it has really altered how I think day to day about diversity and about being inclusive and being careful about what I say and just being aware. And so for us, the project itself is successful. We did it on time and on budget, but it's the impact that we leave behind that is huge. And that impact is not just on workers, but it's our own people who have said, that this has really changed the way they think. And for me, that's huge.
Can you say essentially, so Maritime Link is about power and about empowerment?
You want me to say that?
Try it.
Okay. The Maritime Link is about power, of course, and is also about empowerment.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I'm not sure if we'll ever use it, but it just seems like you need to put those two things together.
Sure.
To someone who said, what is this Maritime Link all about? How would you describe that to somebody? What is the Maritime Link?
Well, it's interesting. As a Newfoundlander, when we first came on the project, it was recognizing the historic scope of actually connecting the province of Newfoundland to the rest of Canada. And that in itself, for a lot of our team, and including myself, was like something to be really proud of, to be part of. And then to do it in the way we did it, is also something that is, it's not just about getting the power across, it's how we did it. And we went into communities, we gave back to those communities, we hired people from those communities, gave businesses opportunities in those communities. So for me, it's a lot about Emera and the way they do business, and that is like, as a Newfoundlander, it was like, yeah, we gave the benefits back to Newfoundlanders. We hired as many Newfoundlanders as we could, we hired as many Nova Scotians as we could, and we actually gave back to the communities where we do business.
For people that see this video, how would you describe it from a Newfoundland perspective? The thing about an energy warehouse, right? This idea that more energy going out, that really that means something very special. How do you describe that for anybody that might see this video that's not from Newfoundland?
Yeah, whenever I do talks on the Maritime Link and what it means, we talk about this energy loop and the fact that Labrador is this warehouse of energy, that Muskrat Falls is just one portion of that yet. And for Newfoundlanders, this is really going to change the landscape of natural resources and the benefits to the province. So we've traditionally been reliant on oil and gas, which fluctuates up and down. And not only are we looking at providing energy to other parts of Canada and North America, but we're providing clean energy. And that in itself is incredible. And if you look at Newfoundland, that's been dependent on oil to generate power, this means we're going to be able to get that out of the way and then start using renewable energy. And the same for Nova Scotia. They'll reduce their coal burning and start to get to renewable energy. So it's about that as well, knowing that we're producing something that's going to help the environment and it's going to be sustaining.
And let's think about the future. What's your hope? What does this all result in?
I'm hoping I'm going to have a job. So if you're hiring, let me know. If one more person asks me what I'm doing next, I always say no, no, yes, no, no. That's my...
Is that the order of things? Yeah.
Anybody from Newfoundland would know that's the EI card. Don't record that. They say, what do you do next? I'm like, no, no, yes, no, no. You know this. Sorry, what was the question?
Just in terms of looking ahead, if you had a time machine, you go say 100 years ahead. Like, what's your hope for all this? And it doesn't have to be just about the power; it could be about the people, the grand scheme, and then how this will eventually grow and resonate.
Yeah, I think as a Newfoundlander, of course, there's still a lot of talk about Muskrat Falls, and I'm hoping that that project will end successfully once they get through all the challenges they're having, and the focus will come away from that to this incredible resource that we can provide. And historically, have always felt that we were robbed of that energy. And now, when we look at the Lower Churchill, to me, it's about us being able to be self-sustaining as a province and being self-reliant, and then being able to generate that kind of clean energy to other parts of Canada and North America is an amazing position to be in. And I think for the people, it's about having that security and that income. And also, when I look at our project, I'd like to see someday when we're not talking about washrooms on construction sites and clothes to fit women, and we need to hire equally, that this is just going to be the way it is.
Do you think this project has had a big positive move forward in that regard?
Yeah, I think we've had an impact. It's, being in the workplace for a long time, it gets frustrating some days when you think you have to call someone and tell them they need a women's washroom. But I know provincially we are seen as, a great example of how to do it, and a group that they want to do lessons learned on how we can push this forward, and same with Nova Scotia. So I do think we're going to have a really big impact on how diversity can be done, and can be done in a short period of time. Over a 3-year period, we were able to push that forward and make it work. And I think that could be done on any project. So it takes some of that argument away that it takes a long time.
And just jumping back to... You talked about that project, the video, and we're just talking to people, sampling people. It's interesting. That surely would have been a sample of a few people.
Yeah.
Is it your sense that was, like, it's almost hard to know how many people a project